You want to know a hack to get insurance to cover your GLP-1 prescriptions? Here's the truth. Most people get denied the first time that they try, and insurance companies are betting that you're just going to give up. But you do have rights, and you can appeal not just once, but multiple times. The problem is the process is confusing and it's time consuming, and a lot of providers just don't have the bandwidth to be able to fight through it with you. So that's why I partnered with Claimable. It's an easy to use tool that helps you build expert backed appeals proven to work. So don't give up on your shot at coverage. Exhaust your appeals. Go to getclaimable.com/plus sides to learn more and use code plus sides with a Z to save.
Perfect. I am Ashley Johnston Palu. I was on season 9 of The Biggest Loser many moons ago now. It's been, I believe, like 12 or 13 years.
Wow.
And I have since gained all my weight back, and I have lost now 139 pounds while using GLP-1 as a tool
Oh my
since
gosh.
February of 2024. So a little over a year.
How much did you lose on the show?
I lost 163 pounds in
Wow.
7 months.
Wow. So that's how long it went on. Always in my head, I'm wondering how long they go on. So you're there
7 months.
Finish. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds
Wow.
rigorous. Like
It was. Yeah.
intense.
It was
Yeah.
extreme.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what it's
What
about.
it is.
That's what they do in media. Everything is about the extremes, right?
Right.
But ultimately, I think there are different perspectives, right, with the show. And I want to like go around and we can kind of talk about what it is. And I'd love to talk about how you made that decision, how you came about deciding to go on it and stuff like that, and what your thought process was. I'll tell you, I don't watch any of those shows. I don't watch 300-pound sisters or any of. I mean, I'm disrespectful. I really need to know the name of it. I'm not being rude, but like I
It's
really
called
don't.
1,000-pound sisters.
Sisters. Okay. Yes, that. Sure. There's all these variances of them now, and I don't watch them. And the reason I don't is because I've always been like this. So I always saw that as that's as bad as it gets. That's what I would think. I never watched it, right? And that's me. So that's how I saw it, right? And I will never get better. I can't lose what I've tried. Like, and so I can't watch that because it's just too close to home. You know what I mean? But I think there's a different perspective to consider, like Dr. Rencia said. So you were 16 when the show was on and you liked it, right? And tell me how you felt about it when you watched it.
Well, it's interesting. I thought, oh, this is the way that I'm gonna have to go somewhere, 100% have dedication to it. That like I really, because I never had success either. Like I'd lose, I don't know, 10, 20 pounds over a summer, and then I would gain it right back. And I was always like literally since kindergarten overweight. And so I thought, oh, well, if nothing I've done has ever worked, because then imagine that went into my 20s watching it, right? And I thought, well, that has to be the way because me in college, none of this stuff is working and nothing I'm ever doing is lasting. And so I think it was, I thought it was so inspirational, like, oh, the motivation, the hard work. And so over time, I've grown to a different understanding. But to me, it was really formative. And I bought all the books. Like I was really
There were
into it.
books?
Yeah, I bought one of
cookbooks.
Bob's books.
Like
Yeah.
recipe books, everything. Yeah.
It was a
That's
whole franchise. I mean, it was a whole thing.
Ooh, there was like merch and all the things, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. See, and I just like ignored it because I was like,
Yeah.
that's me. And
I
that's
was in,
really
yeah,
what I would need to do. Like, you know,
I was well into my 20s, way 20s. In 2004 is when it first started. I think.
I think
when
it was
launched.
2004, yeah.
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 And then my roommate, now this is like, God, that's a long time ago. I had, by 2004, I had lost and gained a lot of weight. That was my first like Weight Watchers foray, right? And I watched it, that and Extreme Makeover, the health version,
yeah.
where and then they also had the plastic surgery show. My roommate and I, we were hooked on it. We were
Like
sucked
it
into a
was like
lot of
Extreme
those.
Makeover, like weight loss edition or
There was
something.
the weight loss edition, but then there
Was
was
it like
also
something
one,
Swan, or am I making
the
that up?
Swan. That's what we
Yeah,
watched.
it was like a reveal would happen at
Oh,
the
it
end.
was
They would
pretty
like go away
bad.
and then they would
Yeah.
come back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there was like a certain point where I got with The Biggest Loser. I was like,
You can't watch it anymore.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
it turned after
like
however
like
many-
oh, like
Ooh, we need
10
to
pounds a
examine that
week. What are they doing to these people? We'll find out.
You will.
Like, what
Find
are
out.
they doing? The pressure, like, and
Yeah.
then like what I think what threw me the last time I watched it was when they made them when they all went home and they all made them run a marathon. I was like, I
What?
ran a half marathon in '05. That was intense for me. I'm like, wait a minute. You have people who are like 400-500 pounds, maybe. I was like, that kind of turned me off. I was like, they're pushing them too hard. And I was like,
Yeah.
of course you're going to lose weight. We'll find out how long they made you work out every day, like
Yeah.
a pro athlete, huh?
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, let's talk about that a little bit more. So I would love to know, like, what made you decide to go on the show?
Yeah.
Like, what was your thought process like? Where were you, like, in terms of
Yeah.
weight and your like journey in general?
Yeah.
And then kind of how did it all go about? Like, kind of lay it out for us, like behind the curtain.
Yeah. So I have always struggled with my weight from a young age. And then I just decided one day, I was a fan of the show. I watched it for years. I
Mhm.
found it inspirational because I'm like, that's what I need to do. Like, I got to get on there because that's like apparently a fix, right? Like, I've got to do it. So I just looked it up one night and then I decided, like, I'm doing this. And I did all the steps. You have to film at home videos and like, I took like a video camera, like, because not the
Yeah.
big ones, okay? I'm not that old,
Yeah.
but like,
The little digital ones. I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
We are
Yeah.
that old.
I took it like everywhere.
Little flip
Everywhere
out.
to the mountains. Like, I had done a hike and I'd almost like died on this hike I tried to do because I was like 300. I was 400 pounds at the time. And so I took it there and I talked about doing the hike and how I almost died. And I like took it and put my CPAP on. And my dog was in the bed with me. And I was like, I'd rather have a man in the bed with me. Like all this stuff,
Oh,
like,
yeah, I get that.
and so I made this video and I made my mom do it with me because I was like, I need a partner. She did not want to do it. But she did for me, of course. And we just submitted it and I got a call and it was just one step after the other, one interview after the other. And then you
How
go
long
to
did it take?
so
Do you
many
remember?
interviews. It's like a couple of months of just interviews. Once it starts happening though, it does start picking up really quick.
Okay.
Because they're ready to film,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so once they fly you to LA, they put you in a hotel and then you go and interview live in front of the producers. And yeah, and from there we made it on.
Okay.
Wow.
So do you like go back and get ready and then come back? Like, or do they, by the time you're interviewing, do they know that you're going to be on it?
So I think they have like a group in mind who they want because they
Uh-huh.
see that dynamic of also it's a TV show, so they
Mhm.
want a little conflict and stuff.
Yeah.
But they also want like the inspirational side. So they, after we interviewed, we got the final call. We did go home, and then we were on. They called us, of course, but we already had a film camera in our house, like a camera crew in our house. So we
Wow.
kind of knew
Yeah.
we were going on. And then they were like, "You're on the pink team" or whatever, and they film everything at home. So we do the at-home filming.
Okay.
Where the hardest part, I think, for me was I had to get in front of my peers downtown, and I had to take my shirt off and have on just a sports bra and shorts.
I remember seeing that.
That was probably one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I would have been
Absolutely
mortified.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that was the start.
when you found out you were cast, like I can't even imagine what that would be like. Were you excited? Were you terrified? Like what was going through your mind?
Good question.
I feel like because I am like once I get laser focused on something, like I want it. You know what I mean? So at that point, I wasn't scared. I was probably nervous. I remember feeling nervous, like, oh my gosh, like I'm leaving my life for all these months and I'm doing this and
Yeah.
can I do it? Like now that I've got to be able to cash this check, my mouth is written now. Like I've actually got to go and do it.
Yeah.
So I was nervous, but I think I was more just like feeling hopeful that I was going to finally like get over this struggle with weight for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Month to month, box to box. This is how we live in the GLP-1 community. We never know when our coverage is going to get yanked from underneath us. Last year, it got yanked out from underneath me, and I had to go the compound route. I had to go to a telehealth. And what alleviated that financial burden a little bit for me was using my HSA card. I went to the hsastore.com to look for some electrolytes. ShedRx is there. ShedRx, the telehealth, is HSA approved and FSA approved. Ah! So I'm going to ShedRx, right? And I'm going to use my HSA, which alleviates a huge financial burden for me. And if you're interested as well, go to shedrx.com. They'll take great care of you. They've got fantastic doctors. And you can use the link down below in our link tree, or just go to shedrx.com and use my code, CAT50. Get your $50 off your first month.